Guest in studio is Dato George Thomas. He is the Chief Executive Officer for the Malaysia Association for the Blind, and today we are talking about their 72nd anniversary. Welcome to the studio, Dato. How are you today?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, KJ. Thank you for inviting us.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, and also an absolute pleasure to interview someone who's working for such a wonderful cause, and it has been happening for 72 years in Malaysia, and you are someone who has been supporting the blind and all of their wants and needs for quite some time now. So let's talk about the Malaysia Association for the Blind. Could you tell us more about it, including its history and some of the people who are currently behind it?
Yeah, as we are celebrating 7 decades of service for the visually impaired in Malaysia, we established in 1951, which makes it 72 years now, and it was established by the then Department of Social Welfare Malaya before independence, and it was led by Major D.R. Bridges, a war veteran himself. He is also visually impaired, and he was working with the Department of Social Welfare Malaya. So they've established the Malaysian Association for the Blind, and it constituted. And then we are registered under ROS, and it started as a welfare-based organization trying to reach out to the visually impaired and serving them. But eventually, over the years, we have grown to be a premier organization, especially trying to develop a developmental organization, developing the potentials of visually impaired in this country. And we have now our core business, or our core area of service is actually rehabilitation, skills training, and job placement. But nevertheless, we have other supportive services, which include youth development, elderly blind services, library services, braille material, and support, and ICT. Over the years, ICT has grown very important, and ICT has proved to make visually impaired totally independent of themselves. They can do anything, like any of us. In fact, I would say they could be better than us or better than the sighted people in terms of ICT and technology.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the 72nd anniversary. You mentioned that it was started in 1951. What are you doing about the event? What is the event all about?
Okay, this is basically, we're trying to create awareness among the public. And this awareness is also needed because there are still people not knowing what services are available for the visually impaired. And not only that, we also want the public, the sighted people, to know more about blind people, because there's still prejudice among the sighted, because they feel if you can't see, you can't do anything. That's the perception public has. So we want to change that concept. Maybe 30 years ago, when somebody sees a blind person, they think, oh, you're a basket weaver. But now when you see a blind person, you say, oh, he's a masseur. But it's not the case. Blind people, like any one of us, can do anything now. They are in all work fields. So the field of job ability is very widespread for the visually impaired with technology.
The visual impairment does not stop them from doing what they need, especially with the help of technology. Would you say that?
That's exactly.
All right. And let's talk about the event once again. How has the preparation for the event been going on so far?
Okay, we have 100 over dedicated staff, and with volunteers, we have been preparing a 2-day event. So the celebration is a 2-day event which will culminate with the concert, and it'll start with an exhibition which is done in 2 days, and this exhibition is to create awareness of the journey we have done for the 7 decades. And then we have a brainstorming session with selected visually impaired people from all walks of life, and also mainly from universities and those who are working in all age group, in order to give us feedback and what emphasis or what focus maybe need to do in the future. So that's what we are building, so we can have, that's one session. Then another is also we are creating a new volunteer squad. So this is in order to link with universities to create a volunteer group, so that we can get the students, sensitize them how and what needs and challenges the visually impaired have. So we are working with them to create squads in all the universities, so that they could be of help, of assistance as volunteers, as well as they do know what to do if they come across a visually impaired and so forth. So we want to sensitize them, and that's the volunteer squad. Other than that, we also have coloring competitions for children of visually impaired, as well as blind children and low vision children. And we also have services for blind with additional disabilities. So we have also coloring competition for them. Other than that, we also have a karaoke competition for the visually impaired, making as a celebration. So making it joyful for all of them. And other than that, we also have bazaar. So we also anticipate a lot of people coming there. All this is happening in MAB complex, which is in Brickfields. So we are using up Market 10, at the same time we are using our hall and the various classrooms and places. So all this is happening there. So we also do not want to forgo food, because anybody come, we are making this event from morning 10 till 6 in the evening. So food is also available. So we have vendors who will be also having food distributed or serving food also.
And it's not a Malaysian celebration without food.
Yes, that's right.
Is there anything else that is also part of the event?
Okay, as I mentioned, the whole thing is culminating into a concert.
A concert, right.
And the concert is going to be on the 21st, on Sunday evening. And this will be showcasing visually impaired with some of the sighted or other normal artists. Like I think the famous names are Khalid Baskers among the blind, and La VE is also one of the performers. And so we have this, and we are also fortunate that Young Muhammad Dato Dr. Wan Aziza will be officiating the event that evening with other dignitaries and other people. Our president, Tunku Azlan, also will be there.
Right. Sounds like a really, really interesting event. So just to get the dates right, it is going to be on the 20th and the 21st of January.
Yeah, that's right, KJ. Yeah.
All right. So it's happening at the MAB complex, right in Brickfields on Jalan Tebing.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And so what we're going to do right now, Dato, is we're going to be taking a very short break. We're going to be listening to a song. And once we come back, there is more to talk about, including the statistics and the causes behind visual impairment or blindness in Malaysia. So there's more to talk about right here on Face to Face today. Don't go anywhere. You can also join us via our Facebook Live, which is happening. If you do have questions for Dato George Thomas, you can definitely send it via that page as well, where the live is currently going on. Right now, we're going to be taking a short break, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Face on Momentum. My name is KG, and in the studio today we have Dato George Thomas, who's the CEO of the Malaysia Association for the Blind. We are talking about their 72nd anniversary that we will be coming up soon, which is on the 20th and the 21st. Now, we have already spoke about the activities lined up for the celebration. There is a lot that you have put up, including bazaars, there is concerts, there's also exhibitions that is going on. Now, can we move on to the statistics for the visually impaired in Malaysia? What are the latest statistics, Dato?
Currently, according to the Welfare Department of Social Welfare, that's the master registry, we have 58,289 people registered as visually impaired.
Mm-hmm.
Here, when we say visually impaired, is also in layman's term hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
So there is low vision, we call it low vision, and then totally blind. And the number of low vision is definitely higher than the totally blind people. So there are 58,000 at the moment registered. But according to the National Eye Survey, they have done a prevalence rate survey. Their statistics show that there should be 2.44% of the population who are visually impaired. That is hard to see and totally blind.
Mm-hmm.
If you relate that into our population, against our population, there should be 700,000 visually impaired people. But that's a big gap. So we do not know whether the people are not coming or whether the statistics is right.
It's inaccurate. Yeah.
Inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
And according to their statistics, also 0.29%
Mm-hmm.
should be totally blind, which is also coming to nearly 90,000.
Mm-hmm.
So here, because registration to in the social welfare department is voluntary,
Mm-hmm.
so there could be a lot of them, especially hard to see or low vision people,
Mm-hmm.
who do not want to register because there's a stigma or you're a blind person. So
Yeah.
that could be also a reason.
Mm-hmm. And also maybe the fact that the awareness is just not that they are aware that the MAB also catered to them with low vision or hard to see, as you said. Is that a
Yeah.
possibility?
Yeah, that also is the thing, especially in the rural areas where when the old age, when you become low vision, they think it's part of aging, but actually probably they are losing their sight and things like that. And maybe 15 or 20 years ago, statistics shows that 60% of the blindness is caused by cataract, which is avoidable. But now the latest statistics show that only 39% is because of cataract. So there's some advancement of trying to treat cataract. So we also, one of our vision is also to prevent avoidable blindness. So we do a lot of advocacies and so forth, especially in schools, in rural areas with eye screening and so forth.
Okay. You did mention that cataracts is has gone down in terms of trend, in terms of causing blindness or low vision within Malaysia. Now, is there a statistical trend for the blind in Malaysia, and is there a cause behind it? Is there a reason why people are going?
Okay, we also see a growing number of adult blindness, and this is mainly due to cause of lifestyle. That is either diabetic, retinopigmentosa, so this glaucoma. So this is a growing number, and I do not know, maybe because you are too stressed or always on the phone or always on the screen, so that could also be a cause. I'm not too sure of that. But nevertheless, there's a growing number, and then we also have a lot of accident cases, which also creates a number of people, and then tumor and things like that.
So that it's the cause of trauma, disease, as well as lifestyle.
Yes.
Right there. Is it on an increasing trend, or is it going downwards? If you have the numbers, that is.
I would say we are getting increased numbers, but It could be also because we are creating more awareness.
Yeah.
People are coming forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the claim from Ministry of Health. It's not that the numbers is increasing tremendously, but because it has, people are registering. Because if you look at the numbers we receive, it's like 5-6-fold increase. But it's because creating more awareness, more people are coming forward for the service or for treatment and so forth.
Absolutely. And you did mention that a part of the programs that's available under the MAB includes education. Could you tell us more about the education that's available to those who are blind in Malaysia?
Okay, MAB, or Malaysian Association for the Blind, used to run the Princess Elizabeth School for the Blind, which is situated in Johor Bahru, which was also established in 1948 by the minister, and it was handed over to MAB in 1951. We were running it until 1985, after which we have handed it back to the ministry. So in 1962, the ministry also has set up a special department, and integrated education also started in this country. There are 8 special schools, and there are, I think, 30 to 31 schools totally catering to visually impaired, and a total number of about 2,600 students are in the mainstream schools. This is all totally run by the ministry, but we work very closely with the Ministry of Education, especially in terms of braille materials, ICT training, and upgrading skills and so forth.
And of course, there is more to talk about. But right now, we will be taking a very short break, Dato, and we will be coming back right after this song. And to our listeners out there, we are currently speaking about the Malaysia Association for the Blind's 72nd anniversary right here on your favorite station, TRAXXfm. We will be right back. welcome back to TRAXXfm. We are currently on Face to Face and on Momentum. And our guest in studio today is Dato George Thomas. He's the CEO for the Malaysia Association for the Blind. And he's in studio today to talk about their 72nd anniversary, which is happening on the 20th and the 21st. Dato, your organization has been on the scene for 72 years now. How has it impacted the blind community in Malaysia?
I would say that being the premier organization, we have impacted especially in policy matters with the government, a few of the policy matters. And at the same time, we have been training people in skills, getting them employed, and that is our main achievement. We have 3 residential skills training programs and centers. And what impact? Okay, we have also, through our prevention of blindness, we have been able to put up a hospital. The Tunusin and Eye Hospital is also put up by the Malaysian Association for the Blind. And the other impact is we have been also a voice for the blind to the government in terms of getting allocations and so forth. We have been to some extent this thing, but nevertheless, as I mentioned, sometimes the government looks at numbers, data. So that's why we encourage more people to register, those who are visually impaired, to get your eyes checked and register if you have eye visual problems.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes even we don't notice that we have visual problems because it will be gradual. So very tangible eyesight tests would be the key to make sure that your eyesight stays well over the years, right? Dato, would you agree?
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me, as we go for blood tests and so forth, we take it for too granted the eye checks, eye checkups. So if you ask me, after 40, every year you should have a thorough eye checkup, because you do not know. You can have some causes which could lead to visual problems.
Right, Dato. And of course, to our listeners out there, you can definitely join us on our Facebook page, TRAXXfm Official, and also our YouTube, where the live is currently going on. If you do have questions, we still have a couple of minutes to have a look at it. But before that, we do want to continue on with the interview. Dato, what kind of job opportunities do you believe are available for the blind in Malaysia? Of course, you have the statistics, and say you have been very successful in multiple different job fields. Maybe you can tell us about that.
At the moment, there are about more than 40 over kinds of jobs that visually impaired do in this country. But nevertheless, with the advancement of technology in the past 15 years, they can do just anything. Anything, like anyone, except maybe fly a plane. Not at the moment, but driving a car also is possible now.
Yeah, it is possible.
So maybe flying a plane, maybe, I do not know, in future, maybe that also is possible.
I think that is what technology is meant to do.
Yeah.
It is to elevate our life, and for those who have impairments, it is to remove those impairments for them. And as you said, 40 over different job scopes. Maybe you could touch on one or two of them that you thought.
We have teachers in mainstream schools.
Wow.
There are 280 teachers in mainstream schools.
That is amazing.
And we have lecturers in universities. And just when you're touching about this education, just to let you know that Malaysia holds a Guinness Book of World Records for the first blind person to obtain a PhD.
Wow!
In the world. In 1977, our past president, late Professor Dato Dr. Ismail Saleh, he's the first PhD holder among the blind in the world.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing.
So academically, visually impaired have fared very well, and now there are a lot of PhD holders, degree masters, and there are a few of them who are lecturing. Few of the doctors who are lecturing in universities, and we have lawyers who are visually impaired. Why not? We even have IT technicians, hardware, software, who are also visually impaired. Like MAB's IT department is wholly manned by visually impaired people. 40% of our staff strength are visually impaired. Even some of the managers are visually impaired. and we communicate with normal emails and WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need a specialized hardware. You just use the normal handphone and a normal computer,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a voice over text to voice. I mean, which enables them to know what's in this thing. Only thing we also are also promoting websites and information so that the developers create such a way that the voice reader can work on it. So we also overseas it's a must
Mm-hmm.
to comply with the WCAG. Here we are trying to push the government to make sure that it'll be a compulsory for the developers to look into that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that is the best way to move forward, especially considering that all information is now available online,
Yeah.
and it's much easier for you to access it. But if the opportunity to access it, the accessibility option is not there, that will just make it tough for those who are with impairment. And I do applaud your move in that direction, Dato. And Dato, before we end the interview for today, an absolutely wonderful interview for today, is there anything else that you would like to add for our listeners?
Like you mentioned, the public out there are still unaware what the blind people can do and what are services available
Mm-hmm.
and what are the achievements of the visually impaired. I would like to urge the public to come over on 20th and 21st of January to Brickfields MAB. You can also log on to our website www.mab.org.my and go through the events and then be present and also see through the exhibition as well as the activities and join us for the concert also.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a very wonderful time this 20th and 21st. And with that, I think it's about time that we end our interview for today, Dato. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and I once again applaud your work with the blind and the visually impaired for the past 72 years, and we hope that it goes on forever in the interest of a better Malaysia in the future. Thank you so much, Dato.
Thank you, KG. Okay.
All right. And with that, it's about time that we end face-to-face for today. We spoke to Dato George Thomas, the CEO for the Malaysia Association for the Blind. We spoke about the 72nd anniversary that will be happening soon. And right now, it is back to the music.